Okay, so this is my second video, and yeah, and I am going to be trying to make a stag today and showing you a little bit on how to actually bend wire. Maybe later I'll do a little bit more on copper trees, which I've made a lot of, or other things, but today I'm going to do a stag. So this one is fairly easy, I find at least. It's not a complex one and it doesn't take a ton of wire. And that's good because I don't have a lot of wire with me right now. So in terms for the amount of wire that you don't need a ton. Nor do you really need a lot of equipment. And luckily this easy stag really doesn't take that much either. I've only made it once before, so hopefully this one turns out as good as the first one. But obviously the first thing you want to do with any of these is to pre-cut all your wire, because there's nothing worse than not having your wire pre-cut, in my opinion. So I'm going to start with 5 pieces of wire at lengths of whatever you might want. It really doesn't matter, the wire can be whatever length as long as they're all the same. If they're not the same, it's kind of weird. Yeah. So that's 3. We're going on 4. Boop. Here's the 4th one. And then 1 more for 5. Just pick up another one just to make sure it's the same length. And 5. Normally when I do trees, I will have something that I wrap them all around, because for those you're counting out like 50. But for something like this, it's a lot easier, so you don't have to do as much. Okay, and then once you do that, straighten them out some. I can already see now that a few of them are a little bit shorter than the others, but that's okay. It doesn't much matter how long they are relative to the others. Too much. Then you need to figure out how long you want everything to be. I'm thinking that this right here is the shortest one. Can't really see it, don't know why I'm showing you. But I'll have that probably be the tail, and then these 4 will be the legs. The legs, okay, that long. All the legs be about that long, and the tail, of course, doesn't need to be as long. I'll show you why in a second. So I'll put that in a little bit, like that. Bam. Then I'll get a little clamp to hold it together, if I can manage that. Doesn't need to be too clamped together. Just as long as it holds it, so you can start twisting the wires. Okay. So, let's do a couple starter twists, just so that everything gets together well. Now, one thing that annoys me is actually what happened here. Sometimes, if it loads, I don't know if you can see that, but the wire doesn't quite fold the way I like it sometimes. This time isn't as bad, but sometimes it gets not to my liking. But not this time, so we're good with that. And then once I have it started, I'm going to continue it a little bit more, because once you start twisting, it'll inevitably start untwisting somewhere else. So I might as well start at some before continuing with the legs. Okay, so the legs. Legs, pretty easy. I think we all know what legs are. I personally do, at least. They are just 2 little bloop doot doots. And then this right here, this littler one, is going to be the tail. I don't know if you can see that, but there is a tail there. The tail is the first piece, and it's the easiest, as I've been saying, because if you've seen a tail in the wild before, I know it's a very hard thing to see, but yeah, they're just pretty easy. It's just kind of a little, I'll do with this, just to do a little start, just a little loop, like that. I think that's a good little tail. I don't know if you can see that, but I think it's good. So that's what the tail will look like. And each of the legs, of course, will need to be wrapped as legs are. Wrapped around. I don't exactly like the starting of it, but it's good nonetheless, so yeah. And there's a little kink there, but you know, no one's gonna see that. We hope no one will see it at least. And unfortunately, as you see, that's a bit too long, but that's okay as well, because we're probably gonna have this turn back in, but we'll see when the next one gets folded, twisted up. Folded up, twisted up, doesn't much matter what word you use as long as you're doing the same action. So, like this. The problem with the last one is sometimes, instead of having them both bend, and it's kind of happening with this one as well, you'll get it in a situation where only one bends and the other does not bend. And yeah, it's happening a little bit, but it fixes itself after a while. And whoa. Yeah, this one kind of did the same thing, but it's okay, you know, no one's gonna get mad at you for having it a little bit bent and a little bit weird looking. It's just for yourself, so yeah. So there's the legs. I'm gonna clip off the excess just so you don't have to deal with it. Both bend them together so we know. They're about the same length. Don't much like working with the steel because it's so much harder. I prefer copper, but I don't have copper right now, and steel's cheaper anyway, so might as well do a little bit. That's what it looks like so far. I don't know if the light helps, but yeah. I can't see it too well, but I also have a tiny screen that I'm looking at, so my view will not know how it looks until I look at it on the big screen, which is a computer. I think we all know what that is. I have a MacBook, so, you know, don't know why I need to share that, but I did. Yeah. So I'm just bending the legs together so that they're a little bit shorter, well, a lot of it shorter, and a little thicker, you know. There's nothing better than a thick deer, as I always say. But yeah, a little bit tougher because you have to bend 2 wires, but we'll get it done. Ugh, 2 hands help with that. And yeah, got 2 legs. They're not the best, but you know, what are you gonna do? It's already bent wire, and I don't like wasting it, so I think it's good. And then you have this little tail, and it's 2 legs. Okay, so now, don't know why that's up like that, but we are going to continue with the body for a little bit at least. So that is more twisting. Twist, twist, twist. Ooh, and this wire is hard to hold onto right now. But it'll twist if you do it good enough. Here, I'm gonna have to hold it so that I can twist it better. Yeah, there we go. Not too long, you know, deer bodies aren't that long. But this length seems good to me so far. You know, it's not super long, but as I said, it's a deer. They're not that long to begin with. Then we're gonna look at which 2 we want legs. I think we'll have 2 of the shorter ones, because as you'll see in a second why I want 2 of the shorter ones. But these legs aren't gonna do a ton compared to the whole rest of the body. Straighten them out a little bit. Don't need to do that, but you know, nothing wrong with doing it either. And then these 3 are going to continue on for the neck and antlers. Okay, so a bit small. The one I made before is larger, but nothing wrong, once again, with that, because that means I'll have the body a bit thicker. You know what they say about thick bodies. Better cold absorbance, better way to last in the winter, you know, like elephant seals and such have blubber, And we want our stag to be able to last in the winter. Straighten it out a little bit. Maybe move it outwards like that. And then we'll get the second leg going as well. Whoa. Bam. Okay. I'm going to flatten it out a little bit. Bam, bam. And get some twists going. Twist, twist, twist. This method of twisting is a little bit easier. Gotta make sure you're in view, because if you're not, you are the star of the show. Little stag of mine. Sounds like a song. I don't think it is though. This little stag of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. It's a song written by me just now. Okay, so I got 4 legs now. I don't know if you can see that. It's loading. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4 legs. And then these 2 extra from the legs, I'm gonna wrap back around the body to make it seem bigger. So, yeah. You can probably do this with your hands, just because it's just a single wire you're bending, and single wires aren't too hard to bend. Until it comes to the end, then you might have a small difficulty, but you can always grab your little multi-tool or your needle nose pliers and get that bent around real nice, like that. See, the body's already a little bit thicker on our little stag, which is nice. And this one as well, we're gonna bend, since it's a little bit more forward. It's gonna loop once forward just to make the front look a little better. I'm getting a flashing on the screen, don't know why, but hopefully nothing too bad is gonna happen. If it cuts, I will notice. But yeah, so this one is coming up on the hard part to bend. So we just get our little pliers and we continue bending it like that. Bam, bam, and bam. Make sure the little tail comes up because it's a little bent, and the little back feet as well. Sadly, the front and back feet are a little bit different in size, but that doesn't matter. It could stand up if there wasn't a ton of weight pushing it over, but it works for now. And now we're going to start working on the antlers and head. So, I'm going to start doing a little twisting once again, and don't twist too high, Deer heads aren't known to be the biggest heads in the animal kingdom, based on my very limited knowledge on deer heads. And so I'm going to push out 2 to the side now to make those are reserved for the antlers. And then I'm going to continue by making a little deer head. This is kind of subjective, However your deer head wishes to be made. You just got to kind of model it. See, that head isn't the best. It's a little too round, a little too weird looking. So, try to do some bends. Bend it out a little bit. It's not the worst head, it's just I prefer a little more square. Here, grab a couple tools like this. Other pliers, clamps, don't know. Grab onto that, and then maybe try to bend it. Little bend, little unbend, little bam. That's fine, To each deer head its own. Yeah. Then we're gonna come back around probably. Oh, gotta hold it, because this wire is not wanting to do what I want it to do. Back around. Like that. Add a little depth, a little 3D motion to our head. And I have this come back up. Yeah. Make the head a bit bigger. Hold this on too. Bam. Oh. Bring it down. My little head. Bring it out. Bam. Okay. Looking good still. And then we might, if we're lucky, be able to get a little eye in there. Let's try that. So, gonna move these antlers out of the way a little bit more. Bam, bam, just for working. Looks like a little crab thing kind of now. A little Pokemon. I don't know. And then we're gonna want to do a little bend with this little tool. Oh shit. Shoot, sorry. That did not work out. The wire bent itself. Not the ideal thing, but that's okay. Yeah, maybe that's for the best. Do a little bend like that. Yeah, that's fine. It'll make the head seem more solid. And at the end of the day, it's your deer thing. So, however you like it is the way that you're going to want it to be. I'm actually going to clip this because there isn't a ton more I can do with this wire. It's kind of come to the end of its life, so do a little clip. That's off. And then we're just going to want to tuck this little wire back into the head. Yeah, just tuck it back in. Just make this like this, so that doesn't move. Give this a little bit more of a bend. It's possible. Guess it's not possible. When you're working with small wire like this, it's always a pain. Normally, when you do stuff, like with trees, you work from the end in, the reverse of how I'm doing this, which, makes it easier. You never want to be doing stuff backwards. Okay, I like it. It gives, let's see, giving my deer a little head. Not the best head, but it's not the worst head either. Who am I to judge everybody's head? And now, the Grand Prix, the antlers. Now, for the antlers, you've got these two big long pieces of wire. Your only two wires left. You're gonna wanna twist them up right there, just so they stay well into each other. Bam, look at that. Big antlers. And then you're going to want to think of how you want the design to look. So you want to come out, of course, first. I think everybody wants their antlers to come out. And then I think, so I'm going to want to go up a little bit, like that. And then maybe give it a little turn here. Little turn. That's good. And then maybe here, give it a little turn again. And then clip that in. Bam. So there's the first little turn of the antler. If you see kind of what I'm doing, if it loads. So you just want to pull it out and then keep folding it in on itself. Right here, probably another little turn. Whoop. Yeah. And then here again. No, there's no right or wrong way to do your antlers. Antlers are all unique, like little snowflakes. So, just keep going. Do your antlers how you want your antlers to be done. Yeah. Antlers, antlers, antlers. If I had an antler fact, I would put it in right now. Unfortunately, I do not. So there's the two little antlers. Put it up. Ooh, there we go. So 2 antlers on the side, and then let's just throw in a third one. Just be risky, you know? Boop, 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 boop. Just a little tiny antler. So this tiny antler will be concluding, oopsie, that's a little hard maneuver there, but you know, not too bad. This little tiny antler will be concluding the antler portion of our video. And almost the end as well. So it's, I'm having difficulty with it. There we go. So, the little pieces are always the hardest, in my opinion, but you know, if there was little pieces, it would be less fun. So, yeah, let's just stick with that. And to end it, you'll probably want it to continue down. Now, I don't know if I want to clip that yet, so I'm going to leave it on. Oh, that's way off. So I'm going to leave it on. But this is what the first antler looks like. You see you got this prong, that prong, and that prong. And then for the whole entire next part, you want to mirror that with this antler. So I'm going to get that going. Do a little bend. Yeah. Do a little clip. Just some antler management. It's a new course offered at my university. Just kidding. Okay. So a little clip. Bang. It's a very relaxing thing to do as well. I would highly recommend it. It isn't that hard to do, and it doesn't require too many tools. I've seen online though people doing crazy ones, like there's a YouTube video of a guy doing a massive bonsai tree, way bigger than any of the bonsai trees that I've made, and it looks absolutely crazy, and like it takes an absolute amount of time. My bonsai trees take something along 2 to 3 hours. The most I've done probably is like 6 hours, which is a lot in my opinion. His must take forever, but to each his own when it comes to making trees and relaxing. I probably would not be relaxed while making that, but you know, ooh, that's a little bit different on the antler, you'll see in a second, but that's okay. Antlers are unique, as I've said, just like little snowflakes. Bam. Bam. Okay. Ooh. Then we're going to want to do a little snip there. Oh, a little snip there, and up. Okay. And then a little snip here, and do a whoosh, 360-degree turn all the way back down, flip it back to its correct side, clamp it in the middle, push it back together. Oh. To push it back together, there we go. Bam. Then we're going to do a little squeeze again. A little squeeze, okay. And this hardest bit, doing a little squeeze. Okay, and that's our 2 antlers. Just about done. And these 2 clipped bits, I'm just going to clip them because I don't think you can add much more. Oh, maybe actually. Here, let's try. I'm going to loop them down here. Start by clipping it a little bit. Clip its length off. Maybe 2. Gotta move it out. Clip it here. Yeah, that's good. And clip it here. Oh, that one went flying. And I'm gonna make, or try to make, some little ears for the antlers, or the moose, stag, whatever. Pick your poison on what you want it to be called. Not fold at the best, but you know. What you're gonna do, hold it, do a little turn, Yeah, it's in view. And do a little ear. Well, I hope that looks good. That's how it's turned out now. A little stag with some little ears. Well, one little ear right now. But hopefully in a second it will have a second little ear. Just gotta clamp that down and do a little turn. And come on, stag, let's get you going. Whoa. There we go. Oh, one of my trees just shifted. Maybe I have a ghost here. If I'm lucky. Do a little clamping. And then I think this may be done. A little fine tuning. Yeah, maybe done. So I'll put it down and it sits. It's right here. And I'll do a little close up to finish it out. So here is a close up view of the stag. The ears, since you last saw, I cut them off because I didn't think they looked that good in the grand scheme of things. But here's the stag. It's not very big. Here's my finger in comparison to it. There's its head. Ooh, just a little head, you know, not too complex. Its little tail and its legs. And yeah, just a little stag, a little quick video on how to make a stag, and a little fun thing to do. Thank you for watching, and tell me anything that you want me to improve on. Thanks.